What is going on, everybody? We back in the building. It's Hectic and Chill Faded Podcast. Thanks for joining us. I wanted to mention this because I thought it would be wild to talk about, and I'm just gonna jump into it since we really don't have too much of a topic for today's episode. Um, I had this thought. This idea, and I want to know what you think about it. Okay, so it starts like this. So my question, because I spoke to my girlfriend about this, and I was like, okay, so what if, because the Bible says that God knew us before he knitted us together in the womb, right? And I was thinking, what if God came to you while you were in heaven as a spirit and asked you, hey, like, okay, so I got a family picked out for you. I know who your mom is. I know who your dad's going to be. They're about to have a child. I can send you down, and this is what your life is going to be like. And he shows you like an age by age kind of highlight reel of your life. Would you say yes? Would you say, like, first question, would you say yes knowing what you know now about your life? Would you say yes to come down here?
Yes.
Okay. Now, not knowing anything, like let's say he offered you a life, but without showing you, I guess it's kind of hard to answer that question, but the whole point is, I know for me, there are times in my life where I would have said no. Because you're already in heaven. Now think about this. You're already in heaven. You leave heaven with the chance of not coming back to heaven. Think about it. Because some souls don't make it back to heaven. They don't make it back to God. Because you get free will. You get choice. So when a child is about to be born, if this is not biblical, by the way, I didn't find this in a scripture. This is not something I pulled out of the Bible. It's just a thought that I had. It's a thought that I had about before life, like what we were beforehand. Because if God knows us before we had physical form, which the Bible it tells us that God knew us before we were knitted together in the womb. That's the reference. If God knew us beforehand, then we existed before our body did. We had to be in heaven because we hadn't been born yet. Like we hadn't sinned yet. We hadn't been born into sin. So some souls don't make it back to heaven. And it's a thought that I have. It's questions that I have that go along with that. Like, is that because I it's not like I remember it or anything. I'm not claiming to remember. I'm just wondering.
I
Because would you say yes if you wouldn't have, like, if you know there's a chance you're not going to make it back to heaven, would you still say yes to come down?
I would probably say no, but I don't. To be honest with you, like that's I don't know that sounds because to be honest with you, I think nobody would if he would be like giving us a choice.
Truth.
So I don't
And I
I
think
don't.
that's why we don't remember the experience. Because it was a while. Remember the first time I went to the hospital recently and I had that whole heart thing that was going on. And I distinctively heard in my thoughts, in my mind, that people forget. They forget God. They forget him. Everybody has a choice. Like I kept hearing that over and over in my spirit. I kept hearing it over and over in my thoughts. And I was telling that people at the hospital when I went to the hospital that first night, I was telling them that, like, you have a choice. Like when we're born, we forget God. And I just kept hearing it, kept hearing it, kept hearing it, kept hearing it. I think I texted it to you.
Yeah, no, no, yeah, 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 yeah,
I think I sent that to you.
yeah, yeah.
And I just kept hearing it, kept hearing it, kept hearing it. And it's been lingering in my head this long. like just the idea of it, of knowing God before we were here on earth, like knowing God before that, and forgetting that he exists onto earth erases like
Yeah,
the thought of heaven from you, so
yeah, I
that
believe that.
you are on earth with your own choice. You know what I'm saying? Like with your own choices, with your
Yeah,
own,
yeah. But I don't.
and then you what?
I don't think he gives you a choice to go down. I think he goes, "Yo, I got you. I got you. You're gonna do this. That's where you're gonna go.
Right,
You're gonna go right there. That's your parents. This is their parents. Da 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 da
right.
da. I see.
That's
I
wild,
see.
man.
I come back. I see you if you come back.
Right, that's wild. That's
I don't.
wild though. That's
That's what I'm
wild
saying. Yeah,
because
but
we
that's
don't
but
even remember that part. Like we don't
right,
have
right.
any recollection of any of it.
And
You know what
and
I'm
I and
saying?
I and I think that, and I think he does that because knowing that, us having that knowledge and knowing if heaven exists, that's not, you're not really gonna make it. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah, because if you knew 100% that heaven exists,
Right.
I doubt that
The
there's
faith and
anything in
everything.
you.
Right,
Kind of
right,
goes out the window. It's like, oh, I
right.
know.
It's point.
No,
Yeah,
I was there.
yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly,
saying?
exactly, exactly. And then everybody would think that everybody would. I don't think it would be a choice. I think it'd be like, yo, we're gonna do this because we're going back to.
Because we're gonna go back. I want to go
Yeah, we're
back.
gonna go back. Right. Us not knowing and going off faith
And this is just like
and all that
like I
stuff is.
said, guys. If you're listening, like I said, this is not something I pulled out of the Bible. I didn't pull this out of the Bible, so don't think, oh God, he knows. We know. We've been that. No, I don't. I'm just. These
Yeah,
are
but I
just
think
thoughts that I had.
yeah, yeah. But I think yeah, I think I believe the same thing you believe, as in we were in heaven, and then once we came down here, we lost everything.
Yeah, that had to be the case.
The memory, yeah, the memory, all the memories is gone.
That had to be the case.
Clean slate. You're
Now
fresh, homie.
it could be that he created our it could be that he creates our souls kind of like in transit,
But I
and we
feel
don't
like
have heaven as a background reference. We just
he's
know God
yeah. But I feel like that's why he imprints certain things in our heart,
on our hearts. Yeah.
so we can know.
Well,
It's like,
right,
yeah,
right. That's what I mean in transit. Like we don't get to see what heaven is, but we do know that we come from the hand of God. You know what I'm saying?
right, and
Our
we do know
souls are
what's right and
created.
wrong.
Yeah, he imprints this
Yeah,
stuff on our hearts because he's
right.
stitching our body together. Like
Yeah,
these terms that he uses is this wording, like putting our bodies together, stitching our bodies together in the womb, and it's lifeless until that soul hits it, and when that soul hits it, you know what I'm saying? Boom,
yeah. But and then he
we
gives you like
already
this little,
have
this thing that you
what?
don't really know about, but it's like, is, you kind of question
Right,
it, like
right,
like
yeah,
is he real? Is he not? Is this?
right.
And then like that, I feel like that's when your journey starts, and that's you have to figure
Yeah,
out
you
yourself,
have
and
to figure it out for yourself.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and then
because
eventually it
it's just a
hits you.
wild thought. Like
No, that's
I think
awesome.
about
I
stuff like that
no,
all the time.
I've actually thought about that too.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think about
yeah,
stuff like that all the time.
yeah. So yeah,
Like that. I think about the things that babies actually see.
I feel like you could. I feel like you could see things.
I feel like because they were so like, think about this. The closest times that there's like three times in your life where you're really close to anything spiritual, or what the Bible, the claims that the Bible make in spiritual realm, and that spiritual property or the spiritual elements or whatever you think of it as. I think there's three times in your life that you experience that. One is when you're a baby. One is when you're a
I have
baby
a theory about that too.
because you can't speak these things to anybody else, but you see them. Like
Right.
you see kids all the time looking around at things, and they'll be
Yes.
laughing in the
Yep.
crib by themselves, and they'll be staring up at the ceiling just as playful, or they'll get
And
scared all of a sudden, and you're like, what's wrong with you?
and I feel like when people
They see
when when
things.
when kids are dreaming, and
Hmm.
you see them smiling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Because think
they're
about
back.
it. I
You know what I
mean,
mean?
what are they dreaming about? Because they don't know anything.
Right. They don't have that many experiences to be
Right.
dreaming
Right.
about,
You're not dreaming about
but
a
yet
girl
they're
that you
playing
like.
in their
You know what I'm saying?
dream.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You know
Right.
what I'm
You
saying?
know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm saying? So it's that. It's when you're asleep, which was the second one I was going to bring up.
Dreaming.
When you're
Yeah.
asleep, you have dreams, and these dreams are like Sometimes they're all off the charts, and then
You probably
sometimes they're really, really personal. You know what I'm
you're
saying?
probably seeing
And
angels
then
and
when
God, and Jesus and
when you get old, when you get really old, like right before you're about to go, you start to feel things and you start to have those like experiences. Okay, so I my brain is like wondering what those times was like. Like, what is that time like when you were, super young?
I
You're
feel
super young and you're dreaming. What dreams did you
right.
have? Like, what thoughts are you having? Like, those things always made. I'm super curious about that stuff.
I have okay. So I think like once you get to a certain age, um, I feel like the world and you stop seeing these things because eventually you're gonna sin,
Mm,
and I think that you forget about that, and then you start
hmm.
worrying about the things of this world. That's what I think.
Right.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
So because as you're a baby, you're not a sinner yet, but
Truth.
eventually you are gonna sin.
Right.
So you're and then there's kids. There's a lot of kids that they start sinning really early,
Yeah.
telling lies,
Yeah. Yeah.
and once you
Yeah.
once you commit that first one, you're done. It's over.
Yeah.
And
I mean, but see, that's the thing. You don't even have to commit the first one because we're already there.
right,
Adam took care of that for you.
right,
So you being born a human instead of a duck puts you in that category
right,
already.
right. But I feel like
So
it's I feel like everybody because I feel like everybody is you're gonna commit it. It's known.
oh yeah, it's
It's
gonna happen.
done. You know what I'm
It's
saying? Yeah,
gonna
it's
happen.
gonna happen. So
It's gonna happen.
so
You're gonna tell your first lie.
yeah,
You're
yeah, that's
gonna
what I'm saying. So
steal your
it's
first piece of
it's
candy
gonna
or something. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like it's
And then
yeah.
we take that and we erase it or it gets put somewhere where you don't remember in your head
Hmm.
and then everything else fills it.
Yeah.
The world, everything in the world, the people that you meet, the sins you commit, it like it makes it disappear or
Hmm.
just because you're a sinner,
Yo,
you can't remember that. I don't
right.
know what it is.
I
I
totally
just I'm just
believe that the job of the world is to make you jump from problem to problem.
yeah,
To make you juggle from thing to thing
yeah,
with worry, with expectance. Like you want stuff to happen the way you want it to happen, and when it doesn't, it hits you with stress, and it keeps you in that steady loop, and you tend to just dismiss everything else. And our brains are like, whatever, just keep going. My brain is constantly thinking, like constantly thinking, and I have to go to sleep to shut it off. And then I have dreams, and sometimes it doesn't shut off. So I wake up even more tired because my brain is still running. You know what I mean?
yeah, yep,
But to be in a world where things are still going and things are constantly moving and things are constantly flipping and turning, and you will forget stuff because I forget stuff all the time.
and
I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting something right now.
yeah, of course. Because it's just your brain is going and you're constantly thinking. It's crazy how our brain works. It's like thought after thought after thought after thought after thought after thought.
Right,
Like you could be
right,
watching a movie and I'm thinking about something else,
right.
and then sometimes I got to rewind it. Okay, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But I hate to call it this, and this is just a theory. I think God puts us here, and don't get it wrong. Like it's kind of crazy because life is it's a gift. You
Hmm.
get to experience all these things, good or bad. But I feel like this is God's test to see how we really feel about Him if we really do love Him.
Yeah,
It's like you're going down there. I'm
yeah.
gonna give you this life. You're gonna experience love and hate, and you're gonna taste food, and you're gonna go to beautiful
Hmm.
places, and you're gonna meet people, and this and that. But let's see if you're still gonna remember me.
Right. Can you remember
Let's see
me
if
in
you
all of
care. If
this?
you're gonna come
Mm, I hear you.
with all that, are you gonna come back to me? Are you going to? Is
Yeah.
that part of the memory? Or, you know what I mean? Is your faith gonna bring you back to me? Are
Yeah.
you gonna be a good person? Are you going to go this way where you're a murderer and a liar and a this and a that and this and that
Right.
and this? So yeah, I think that's the test, and I hate to call it that, but
No, I mean, but that's that. Hey, shoot. I posted a video on TikTok on my TikTok,
mm,
and it's I might be getting his name wrong. Um, he does. I think his channel is called Mr. B Red Pin Logic or something like that.
mm.
It's on TikTok. I know it is the video that I posted. Um, who else gonna write it? A dog, a giraffe?
that,
Yeah, stupid.
reminds me of the one
You
dude.
trust the cookbook? Yeah, you trust the
He said,
cookbook? That was written by man.
"Yeah,
That's funny. But the video I was trying to get to was it was why somebody asked a question and he was attempting to answer, and they were saying, why did God put, what did he say, why did God put the tree of the knowledge of good and evil in the garden? And he was saying, he was trying to respond to it, and he was saying um something along the lines of what you were saying about it being a test
yeah,
towards them to see, because you, like I said in the Love is Love podcast that we did, you can't really know something is love unless you experience that love, like what that love is. You don't know. You have no idea. You have no idea whether it's actual love or just, somebody's, a false interpretation of love. Like, you don't know.
people could say they
And for
love. It's easy to say it.
people do it all the
Yeah,
time.
hey, I love you, man. Uh,
Yeah, a husband can say he loves his wife and then turn around and cheat
yeah,
at the first opportunity.
right.
People have done it multiple, like, people do it all the time. It's just the fact that if you really love somebody, you show them.
Yeah, almost definitely.
And in showing them, right, and in showing them, that's where the real love comes through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm trying to find that video, but that is definitely one of the things that I find fascinating about it. I think about stuff like that all the time.
yeah. That's awesome. So
I
I think
do.
about the same thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's such a cool thing to think about. And we don't know why God put the tree of the knowledge of good and evil in the garden.
Yeah,
But
I believe it was a
it
test.
would
I
have,
believe it was a
yeah,
test. That was a test,
I do too.
and we
I do
we
too.
failed.
And yeah, we
We
crashed.
crashed.
We definitely crashed. Cause we could have easily been on our game and been like, nah, I'm not here for this.
Yeah.
And just left it at that and
Yep.
been good.
Yep.
But we broke it and took it to a whole nother level.
That's just what we do, man.
Yeah, it's
We
it's
t- we
insane.
take stuff and we
And we run
we
with it.
run with
Yeah,
it.
we run with
We
it.
abuse the hell out of it,
I think I
and
found that video. I'm gonna
yeah.
send it to you so you can see it. But he's talking about it's original Mr. B on Instagram is where I found it.
Okay.
And the question is, why did God put the tree of the knowledge of good and evil in the garden? And he like, there's no real answer to this. We don't have an answer to it. But what he explains is what you were talking about. He wants to see if we will choose him. He wants to see if he will
Yeah,
be the choice, if
all
he will
day.
be the source of, our love and our
That's
affection.
the
Like,
that's
will we
that's the
come
free
back to
will.
him?
That's the free will.
Free
That's
will,
the free will.
basically.
Yeah.
And it made me think. It made me think, like, wow, well, what if God gave us a choice before we got here? And that's where my brain was. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That
another thing that gets me
that's a tough
is,
that's a tough one though, because
it is a tough question.
I'm pretty sure people would have been like, nah, fam, I love you.
Right. Right. Like I like it
Yeah, I like
here.
it
Like
here,
I
and
don't want to
I love
experience.
you, and I want to be with you. That's why.
Yeah,
That's why I
because if
feel
he
like,
told,
yeah,
I don't think he told us everything. Because if he told us, hey, there might be a chance you might be going to hell and being separated from me forever, after experiencing his presence and being in heaven, there's no way in the world I would picture somebody going, you know what, I'm gonna take that opportunity. I want to know what pizza is. I heard about pizza from some spirits who, they've been down to earth, and I want to experience pizza.
yeah,
So I'm gonna take the chance of going to hell to get that slice of pizza. No, I don't think anybody wants to take that kind of detour.
nah.
I don't think anybody would want to take that kind of detour. I don't think anybody would say yes to that.
You know what's
I
funny? I
really
don't know
don't.
why I
I
thought
don't
about
think
this,
anybody would say yes to
but
that. Hmm.
there's been a couple of videos where um people have died, went to heaven, and then Jesus was like, "Yo, it's not your time yet. I have to send you back." That's tough. I feel like that's tough. Hello?
Oh no,
Nope.
it's still going. I'm still here.
You got
All
me?
right. Well, that was weird. It kicked me out because I was on, but it left you on.
Yeah.
And then okay, so say what you said again because I don't think they. I don't think it
So
came through.
I've seen a couple of videos where
Hmm.
um
Can you hear that
I see
dog?
one recent. Yes.
It's right
Um
up above me. It's weird. It's on the floor above me, and I'm at an angle, so I can actually see the porch where the dog is. Go ahead.
yeah. Um
You've seen a couple videos.
one in particular, it was a lady. I guess she had passed away,
Mm-hmm.
and she said she ended up in heaven. And she was
Yeah.
explaining heaven. She was like, "Yo, it's so beautiful, and it's so this and that." And she's crying,
Wow.
and she's like, she was like, "I saw Jesus, and he told me it wasn't my time yet, and he had to send me back,
Jeez.
and he sent her back." That right there, that would that like, if that happened to me, that would crush me.
Yeah, I would.
That would
Right.
crush me. That would crush me. I even saw one.
I would
Yeah,
not want
I
to.
even saw one of
Ugh.
it was an old lady, and she was being recorded by her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She's a very old lady, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
she was like, God, she was like, Jesus, he doesn't want me, and the daughter's like, I don't know about that, mom. You seen that
Yeah.
one?
I.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I saw that one. Yeah. I seen
And
it. I
then
seen it.
she
I
was like,
seen
I
it.
don't know about that. Like he loves you. And she goes, "Yeah, he just said it wasn't my time yet." She was like, "Okay, that makes sense." You don't you can't
Right. Right.
say
Right. Right.
Jesus
Right.
doesn't
Right.
want you. You know what I mean? It's just not your
Right.
time yet. And she was like, "Yeah, he's
Yeah.
so beautiful and so nice, and he never says anything bad. He's just so nice and so beautiful." And I'm like, "Wow, that's crazy, man. That's
That is.
crazy."
That
You know what I mean?
is.
Like, and it's stuff like that like because I already believe 100%. Like, but it's stuff like that that makes me.
Right.
You know what I mean? You like
Mm-hmm.
you could sit here and be like, "Oh, she's an old lady. She's she's
Right. Yeah.
she's
Yeah. You
going
try to write it off.
crazy," and nah,
Mm-hmm.
don't you don't know what that lady's seen, and
That's
I don't
true.
think she's lying because if
I
she's
don't think she's
lying,
lying either.
she's sinning. You know what I'm saying? And
True.
there's even people that went to hell. I seen this one video. I don't know if I sent you
That's
that,
true.
but there was this one guy. He got interviewed, and he was an atheist, and he went to hell,
Yeah.
and he told you the whole story, everything that happened. He was like, I did this. There was a room for me. I was about to go in the room,
Wow.
and he said Jesus was behind me because
Uh,
he said when he went to hell, there was these figures that it looked like they were trying to get close to him, and he said for some reason he was like for some reason I knew if one of them would have touched me, they would have ripped me apart. I was like, wow, yeah, I was like,
ooh.
wow, and for some reason he was able. I think he said he couldn't talk at first, but then he called out to Jesus,
Yeah.
he called out, and then right before, because basically he made it sound like he was getting a tour of hell.
Yeah.
Like there was, he
Yeah.
said there
Yeah.
was this
Yeah.
guy, there was this like a demon, and he named him
Mm-hmm.
uh he named him like Rotten Mouth or something like that, because every time he talked, this the stench of his like the stench of his
Yeah.
breath
His
was,
breath.
he was like, it was horrible. It was like, he was like, it was the worst stench I ever
Mm-hmm.
smelled in my life. And right before they got to his room, Jesus grabbed him and took him back up. And he was in the hospital. He was
Jeez.
dying, and he came back. And ever since that, he was like, the dude was like, I think, it's funny because in my head I was like, when he came back, the doctor was like, "Are you okay?" He was like, "Yo, give me a holy Bible and listen, give me a holy water and a Bible right
Uh,
now." He said he
right,
changed immediately.
man.
He changed immediately. Like he was
Yeah.
like, "I do not want to go there. Never, ever
Yeah.
again."
Yeah.
And people need to realize that. Like people need to realize that, because people be like, "I don't care. I'll go to hell." You listen.
Right. Yeah. Like it's gonna be
You
some
couldn't
party or
listen. You
some
couldn't even
vacation or
fathom, homie.
something.
You couldn't even fathom. I've never been there.
They don't get
I
it.
know for a fact. You have to understand, hell was built for Satan, and the fallen angels, and they're immortal.
And the fallen angels. Right.
We're
Like they don't die
we're
by
weak.
conventional means.
We're the weakest little weaklings in the, like. Listen, we're so fragile.
Right.
I don't. You could take the toughest guy in the world, and he's nothing. He's nothing. So imagine a place that was meant for things that could destroy,
Yeah.
it could destroy everything. We're talking about angels here,
Right.
immortal beings that have strength and all this stuff and can never die. And this is what
Mm-hmm.
hell's made for them.
Yeah. It's to contain them.
So imagine what it would do to us. That's
Yeah. That's wild.
Listen, stop playing around. Stop.
Right.
This is not a
Right.
game, fam. This
Let
is
it
not a
go,
game.
man.
This isn't. Listen, listen, man. I ain't listen. You could sit here and not want to believe. I wouldn't even want. I listen. I wouldn't want anybody to go through that. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me.
Yeah. And God doesn't want
But
anybody in hell either.
and you got to think about it,
Because like you said, it
right?
wasn't made
And then
for
think about
us.
the love. Even it doesn't matter what you've
Yeah.
done. You could be Ted Bundy. You could be Jeffrey
Yeah.
Dahmer.
True
You
story.
see how many people they kill? They
True
eating
story.
people. They're doing the most vile,
Yeah.
vilest, disgusting,
Being wild.
craziest things
Yeah.
ever. And as long as you realize what you've done, and you turn to God and you turn to Jesus, and you really, really be like, listen, I'm really, really sorry, and you really, really mean it, and you never do those things again, and you turn to them, you're good. And that may sound crazy,
Yeah.
because to us, yeah,
For
because
some,
for
it
us, you'd
does.
be like, I hope they rot in hell, because
Right.
they're selfish,
Right.
and it might be the people, they might have killed your loved ones or somebody that you know.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
everybody, and I agree with this, because I don't believe in murder. Even people who murder, they should be punished.
Mm-hmm.
They should be punished. Put them in
Absolutely.
jail, rest of their lives. Killing them, I don't know. No, that's leave the vengeance to God. It's His. It's His. Believe me, man. It might not be the way you want it. It might not be at the time that you want it, but they're gonna pay for it. There's no escaping that. There's no escaping it. And that's how I
Right.
see things now. And don't get me wrong. Like let's say somebody killed my mom. Listen, I would be so devastated. I would listen. But
Yeah.
I would leave it to, I believe 100% that God will take care of it. He will take care of it. There's no
Yeah.
changing my mind. There's no changing my mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because me, I feel like that's what the devil wants. He does stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah, for you to go
go
off
off
the
the rail.
rails,
Once you go
right?
off the rail,
Mm-hmm.
you're done. I'm not gonna say you're done, but
Yeah, he got you.
you're heading towards what you're not supposed to be heading towards.
Right. Yeah.
That it's all listen. It's a spiritual war. It's a spiritual war, and life is tough, and things aren't fair. But as long as you
It's
have
true.
God, as long as you believe in Jesus, they got you, man. They got you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to believe. You have to believe. You have to let them take care of it. Justice
Yeah.
will be served. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
And I'm saying this, and it might it sounds like easier said than done, but I know for a fact if that ever
Mm-hmm.
happened to somebody that I love, I would be devastated, fam. I would be devastated. I would be
Yeah.
devastated. But I'm gonna try my best because I don't know what would happen. To be honest with you, I could sit here, like I said, it's better said than done. But I'm gonna try my best to
Right.
leave it to God. Leave it to God. You have to stay focused. You have to stay focused. I said
Yeah,
you
that's the only
have to
thing you
stay
can do,
focused.
man.
You have
That's
to,
really all you
because
can do.
I know in my head I'll be thinking very very bad wishful thoughts about that person.
Yeah.
And and in the Bible it says forgive no matter what. And
We have to
it's
leave room for
crazy.
God's
It's
vengeance.
crazy. It sounds so crazy. It sounds impossible. It sounds impossible, but
Mm-hmm.
you have to. As long as you let God take the wheel, you know what I mean? He yeah, he
It's
got it.
yeah,
He got it.
it's
Because he promised that. He
and
promised that. He promised.
that's
And I believe everything that he promised.
he
He's not
did.
a liar.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's another thing I always think about. I
Huh.
always think about that. And I pray, I'm like, please let everybody be good. Please protect my
Mm-hmm.
people. Please. Please, 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 please,
Yeah.
please. Please.
Yeah.
And so far he's been doing that. So I'm not I
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Fam, I be thinking about a lot of stuff too, fam. Deep, deep, deep. Hey,
Yeah.
listen, deep, deep.
Because the thing we have to understand is life is supposed to be a
Yeah,
mystery. We're not supposed to have every answer answered all the time when we want it, how we want it. Even if we search for our entire lives, there are things that are supposed to remain a mystery.
yep.
That's how it's supposed to be. Life is supposed to
Mhm.
be that way. And once we get a grip on that and actually get over it, you know what I'm saying? Some things we won't be able to, some things you can't do in this life, and some things you will. Some, you'll have answers. Some things will make sense and some things won't. That's how it's supposed to be. Like our concern is not supposed to be getting the answer all the time. That's not our concern. Now that the world is broken, our concern is focusing on God,
Yeah.
living a good life, focusing on God, and keeping our eyes forward, keeping our head up, keeping our eyes forward. That's what we're supposed to be doing. And sometimes it's not going
It's
to make
not.
sense. Sometimes you have to take a leap of faith and you have to just trust in God, trust in who He is, trust in what His promises are. Sometimes you have to walk into a situation completely blinded.
As long as you trust, as
Those
long as you trust in God, he'll be your
the
eyes.
Hebrew,
Those are your eyes right there.
yeah,
Remember, he can see everything.
yeah. We walk by faith.
Yes.
We walk by
Yep.
faith, not by sight. That's how it works.
Look in the Bible once again. Come
The
on, fam.
right,
Come on, fam.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
listen, man. Listen, but I recommend everybody read the Bible. Read the Bible. If you're a believer or not,
yeah.
it doesn't matter. Read it.
Absolutely.
I bet even if you
I
don't
mean,
believe, I bet you
mm-hmm,
it'll open up something.
yeah,
It'll open up your eyes, your mind, your heart. It's gonna open up something.
mm-hmm.
It'll change you, even if it's a little bit.
Because I don't see how it could. I don't see how it couldn't.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
I don't see how you can read. I don't see how people can read the Bible and be like, "Oh, this
And I
doesn't
feel
make sense."
And I
Oh,
feel like
this is
two things
stupid.
happen, three things happen. You either get it and you're like, okay, yes. You either read it and then you change it to the way you want to change it, or they read it and they
Hmm.
just don't get it and they're like, I'm good.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not the smartest guy in the world. If I can get it, I'm pretty sure y'all can get it.
Right.
But you have to go in with a open mind, open heart, and
Yeah.
actually read or listen to it. Because I'm not even up to the crazy parts. Like I'm up to the stories, but all the stories are showing me is like how people are, how we are. It's just showing you. It's just showing you how people are messing up, and how in relation to how
Hmm.
we mess up. And
Yeah.
it's been happening since the beginning. We're
That's
just
really what
all
it
we
is.
do. We mess everything up. Even the people who are
Hmm.
chosen, except for one person. Hey man,
Right.
deliver this message for me. I got you, God. And they either get drunk or take somebody's girl or kill
Yeah. Or
somebody or because they lose
end up
focus. Yeah, they
doing
lose
something wild, and
focus.
God's
They're
like,
like,
all
yo,
right,
listen, I need you to do this. All right, I got you. They go over
all
here,
right,
take somebody's wife, kills them. Like, fam, I just told you to go do something.
for real.
Why you stop? Why you stop and kill
Yeah.
this dude to take his wife? Like, come on,
Old David, man.
crazy.
But you know what's wild about God
Yeah,
is that even in our failures, which He is like fully aware of, He still rocks with us when we
man,
come
that's
back
another
to Him.
thing that gets me. His
It's like we never messed up at all, and God's like, "Yo, you're my
man,
number one. I
his
rock with
patience
you."
is
Is
ridiculous.
unending.
Man, my
Is
patience is small. Like, listen, listen,
super
listen.
slim.
I'll get mad at the
It's
second time something
insane.
happened. I get angry.
Right. Right.
That's why I'm trying to be, especially with the forgiving people. I I I I, I have to forgive people. I have to forgive because I've
Yeah.
been forgiven so many times. It's like I wouldn't even like if he took like if God came down and told me the number of times He's forgiven me. I listen,
Yeah. It would be astonishing.
listen. I know it'll be in the billions, trillions.
I
What's after trillions?
don't even know.
Gaz, gaz,
Quintillions.
oh, I was gonna say
Quintillions.
gazillions.
Gazillions. Yeah. Gazillions. Quintillions. That's up there.
And I'm only 42 years old. I don't know for a fact.
Mm, yeah. I
I'm
know.
41.
Right. It's up there.
Yeah,
It's
so
definitely up there.
me, I'm sorry. I forgive people, man. I forgive
Yeah.
people.
We're supposed to, man. You
Gotta
got to
forgive
forgive
people.
them. And the scariest thing is that when we don't forgive them, God uses that same measure of judgment on
Oh
us.
yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. That's
So
what that
forgiving people is important. Like it's super
yeah,
important. It is super important that we forgive and we constantly forgive because that if we're unforgiving, God is going to be unforgiving with us.
exactly. Exactly. He's be like, "Oh, you didn't forgive that person? Well, I don't forgive you for this."
Yeah. Cuz you did the same thing they did.
Yeah.
Why should I forgive you if you
Yeah.
didn't forgive
That's
them?
101% accurate.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, you hate him for adultery? But didn't you sleep with this person, this person, this person?
Yeah, you didn't
Yeah.
know she was married. You
Yeah.
slept with her and she was married. You
But I
didn't
didn't
know.
know. Well, you wasn't supposed to do it anyway.
Right. You weren't supposed to be doing it. So if you didn't forgive him, what do you expect me to do?
Right. Right. Yep.
And it's wild, man, because that's exactly what it
Yeah,
is.
we're
It ain't
hypocrites.
no different. Yeah, it ain't no different.
Like the one dude said, "Come on down. We got we got plenty of room for you."
Right, 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 right.
He said, "You're a hypocrite." Yeah, well, come on down. We got room for one more.
Yeah, right up front.
God is good, man.
He is. God is good
I wish I wish
all
I
the
wish
time.
people could see that, man.
And
He's so good.
I
He's so good. And it's crazy because
oh man,
it's like it's God. Like it's we're nothing, fam.
Yeah,
we're
people.
smaller than ants,
Right,
smaller than a grain
people
of
have
sand.
questions, and that's the thing, man. You have questions, and God knows you have questions, and there's nothing wrong with questions. Like people act like God, you can't. People act like Christians are like you can't question God. You got to do what He says. You can have questions. Like just about everybody in the Bible that God used had
Yeah,
questions. Like Moses came to Him directly and he was like imagine imagine a burning tree standing in front of you, right? This burning bush is in front of you, burning tree, and it's literally on fire but not being consumed.
yeah,
And it's God's spirit inhabiting this tree, like just all over this tree. And you hear a voice coming from a thing telling you to go tell Pharaoh to let my people go. Imagine having the nerve to look at that and being like, "Well, I'm slow of speech. Like, what do I do if the Pharaoh doesn't listen?" Like Moses had questions when
yeah.
God gave him direct orders. He's like, "Hey, I chose you, and you're gonna go into Egypt, and you're gonna talk to Pharaoh directly, and you're gonna tell him the God of Israel wants you to let his people go." Moses looked at this tree that was on fire, that's not being burned, and said, "Well, what if he doesn't listen to me? What do I do then?" He had plenty of questions. He's like, "Oh well, I'm slow of speech. Like, you want me to go and do it? Like, can't somebody else do it?" Like he's talking to God, not in a disrespectful way, but he legit had
Yeah.
questions. Like, what if he tried to throw me in jail? Like, I I was treated as a son in his house, and now I'm coming back and trying to tell him to let the whole city of slaves that he has go for nothing. Just let him go. You have questions. It's okay. God is big enough for you to have questions. God is big enough for you to want answers. God is big enough for you to wonder why. God is okay with that.
I
There's
think he would
nothing
like you
in
to
it.
ask questions.
He
It's
knows we're
like,
gonna have because he knows we don't
yeah,
know.
we
You
don't
know
know
what I mean?
nothing. We don't know nothing.
So it's cool for us to be like, oh Lord, like what does that mean? How does this work? Like,
Yeah, I was like, I would
why
have been
are you
like, I
doing
would
it
have been
this
like,
way?
so
Like,
when I go in there, am I gonna die? Or am I gonna go to?
right.
Am I gonna go to
And
jail?
then he's like,
Are they gonna cut my
right. And
eyes
then
off?
he's like, hey, it's like you got that staff in your hand, right? Lay it down on the ground. I'll show you what it does. And he's like, that should be proof enough that you turn wood into a living object. That should be proof enough
Mm-hmm.
that I sent you, that you're not, just making up a claim and coming in and saying it. You show him that, it'll be I sent you. And then the wild part is he had people that did it too. Remember, Pharaoh had, his sorcerers and they turned wood into living things
Yeah,
too. That's
yeah.
because the devil has power to do
Mm-hmm.
stuff. He can do things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But the beautiful part is that his one serpent, his one staff ate the other two. His serpent devoured the sorcerer's serpents
Yeah.
because there was more power on his end.
Mm-hmm.
He was connected to a more powerful generator, a more powerful source. So, yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a phone call.
You can't beat him, baby.
Nah, not at
He
all.
said, you can't beat him, baby.
And I'm telling you, man, like if we can get people to be on one accord, then we should be good. I'm getting a call on both phones. Good gracious.
Yeah, I'm glad that God is in power. I
Right.
couldn't imagine anybody else. Imagine evil. Oh man. Phew. Would we exist?
Nah, if Satan could run the show.
Oh man.
All right, so let's talk about that then. Let's
Ooh.
talk about that for a quick second. Let's talk about that for a quick second. What if Satan was like, I want glory, right? I want glory. And God was like, you know what? I think you deserve some. Here, have some. Have some of this. Have some worship and praise. Have some glory.
Nah.
And God made another throne. And now it was him, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and Satan, or Lucifer, as his real name would have been. And they're all in heaven. How do you think that would play out?
Whew.
because we know him to be selfish. We know him to be selfish because he wants glory for
I
himself.
think I think
He doesn't want to do anything because he hasn't done anything to be deserving of praise, right? He hasn't done anything. At this point, he hasn't done squat. Not a thing. God is creating the universe. God created heaven. God's doing all this stuff. He made the angels. You know, he's getting down and he's making people. He's making animals. And then you turn around and Lucifer wants a little juice. He wants a little mojo, a couple high fives. So he allows it. All that would have done was divide heaven into two different places.
right.
Satan and his selfishness, and then half of the angels or a third of the angels would have they would have sided with him just like they did, right? So you'd have two different places.
Mhm.
You'd have two different places. You'd have two different sets of. I would dare not even call him a god because what did he create? He wouldn't have created anything. He would have just wanted praise. So that means he probably would have been down here trying to solve problems. And in his own eyes, not being God who can judge justly, he would have been solving all kind of stuff and it would have been chaos.
Yeah, I think he would have been killing people.
I think he would have done things wrong. I think he would have legitimately tried to do God's job and he wouldn't have been able to do it
Right.
because he doesn't have the foresight and the power that God has. He doesn't have the knowledge that God has. He has his knowledge, which is extensive because he's been around for eons. Like he's rode in the car with God, so he knows what the plan is. He knows how to, he knows how to do it. But can he pull it off? I don't think he could. I honestly don't. I don't think he could do it. I really don't think he could do it. So we'd have a heaven that is divided. And then God would have thrown him out again. Like he would have been tainting and corrupting things. God would have thrown him out.
Yes.
We'd be right back in the same boat,
Right.
except with a weirder beginning than the one that we have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because God would have shared power with him. Like that would have been strange, but I don't think he would have lasted. He'd still be down on earth with us, roaming around, doing annoying things. That's what he would have been doing.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have changed anything. Give him a TV show for it to be canceled. It's gonna be canceled. I don't think your show's good enough. I don't think you got enough material to keep the show going.
Right.
I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. I don't see it. I don't see any other way
I
for him
I
because
I think he yeah. I think God would have kicked him out
yeah,
eventually.
I think at best he would have been Chuck from Supernatural.
But
That's what I think. I think at his best he would have been Chuck from Supernatural,
but
who was making all kind of weird decisions, and then it was just weird. I just don't think it'll work.
yeah. No, you're right. I believe you're right. Yeah, you're right. I think he would have tried and he would have been messing up and
God would have been like, "All right, I need to take this back because
yeah. Yeah, you're not doing
I
so
don't."
good. So I'm gonna do what I was gonna do first.
Right, right.
So God basically God was like what he did now was like, nah, because it's not gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna avoid
Yeah, yeah.
this because
He's like, I'm
I
just
know
not
for
gonna
a
let you do it.
fact that
Mm-hmm.
you're not gonna do good. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, God is yeah, he's great, and I mean that in a good way.
Yeah, man. People,
I mean that in a
right?
great way. Uh,
I think God has it in control.
yeah, all day.
I think it's good. I think it's good because to come down and sow that kind of wickedness and that kind of deceit, if he really like, how do you prove to God that you want to do something and you want to do it right? You stick to your guns and you try your best to show God that you're in and you're doing what you said you would.
Right.
He couldn't even commit to that after he got kicked out of heaven. He didn't even want to make things right. He went down to the garden. Instead, Instead of cheering them on when Eve picked up the fruit, he should have been like, God told you not to do that. That would have been the mark of a good son. You know what I'm saying? Like a good son who still wants to be in his father's goodness and his father's grace. That would have been the mark of a good son. To be like, you know what? God told you not to do that. I saw. I was here. So I don't think you should do that.
Right.
But instead, he's like, yeah, God, what did God actually say? You're not gonna die, are you?
Nah,
You think you're gonna die? I don't think you're gonna
I
die.
feel like at that point, like his the hatred that once God was like, nah, that
He was
yeah,
done.
that
Yeah,
hatred it consumed him. His
yeah.
heart turned
I think he
black.
was done.
Not getting what he wanted. Yeah, he was done.
Yeah,
He was
I
done.
believe it.
He was done.
And then after that, he's like,
But the thing about it was like you I know for a fact he knows he's not gonna win. So
he does.
like what he thinks he's gonna win?
Nah,
Oh, okay.
nah,
I was like,
nah.
but think about it. Think about
He
it.
already
It
knows
like
because the
is
scriptures
he
are out.
but
Like he can read a Bible just like everybody else can.
doesn't that make him like kind of stupid a little bit?
Yeah, it does. But he doesn't realize that.
He's
See, think about it like this: if you already know that you're going down and you're consumed with bitter and hatred, the first thing you're going to do is take God's precious stuff with him. Like the first thing you're going to do is take it with you. You're going to drag as many of his precious little toys down that you can with him.
heard. Got it.
With him, you. He's going to take as many of us as he can.
Right.
The point now, I think like he knows that once angels get kicked out of heaven, there is no coming back. God will never forgive that. Now that he knows that,
And that sucks.
it does
I feel
suck.
yeah. And I see
It does
and I
suck.
can see why they don't like us because in a way that's not really fair, right?
I don't know.
Like
Because
we get
think about
us
this.
getting all the chances and they messed up once. That's not really fair. And
Eh.
I'm not saying that. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying like
Right.
what he's doing is wrong because what he's doing is what he's doing. That I'm not smart. I'm not even a little bit smart to sit here and be like, I don't think there was any. But
Right.
to the angels,
Yeah, they might see that as
yeah,
unfair. Yeah.
like that's not fair. That's messed up, and I can
Yeah.
see why they hate us. Like because they
Yeah.
hate us. The devil hates us,
Oh
and I
yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's the main reason. It was like, damn, I messed up one time, and then y'all get to like sit here and continue messing up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, fair,
And the thing is, we got that ability to ask for forgiveness.
right?
We get the ability to ask for forgiveness. We get the ability to be cleared. Okay. Now, these angels, however,
Is it because they're angels?
yes,
Or,
it's because they're angels. Think about this. You, every day of your existence, get to be in the presence of God, of the creator of the universe. You get to see him face to face, eye to eye. You know his wrath. You know his love. You've seen his patience. You've seen his understanding. Today, like today, if an angel fell from heaven, there's no reason why they should. There's no reason why you should fall from heaven. There's no reason because you have you have Satan and a third of the angels that fell already. You know what God does.
right,
There's no reason for you to step out of line and even push that button. There's no reason. There's no reason, you know. But being Lucifer, he should have also known because he was number two.
right,
Out of all the beings in heaven, he was under God. There was no one else under God but him. There are beings standing in front of or around the throne, right? There's these four beings that are standing around the throne,
that just
and
worship
they are
God.
some that all they do,
That's all
but
they do.
they are some really like animal collage looking kind of things. Like they don't look normal at all.
They're like eyeballs.
Nah, they're like four faced six. What I think they got like six wings, four faces, like man, a face of a man, one of a
Oh
bull,
yes,
one
yes,
of
I
a
know what you're talking about.
bird.
Yes,
Like
yes.
they're big
Yeah.
and they have these huge wings, and all they do is praise him all day. These beings are powerful. These beings are powerful.
Like
They know not to cross God.
heard.
And Lucifer was above them. Lucifer was top. Like
He was second in command.
it was Jesus, God, like Jesus, God, and Holy Spirit all on one level. Lucifer. Every other angel, every other being in existence. And you decide to cross God? Like it's different when you have a low, I guess they got ranks. The angels have ranks,
Yes.
and you have just a regular angel, and then you have Lucifer. There's a gap between them because their status and how powerful they might be. There might be a power gap or whatever between them. It's an insane jump from, Lucifer to God. That's an insane jump. And you wanna go against God? For what reason? You've seen him in everything that he's done. You've seen him. You've seen him get mad. Like, we don't even know if there were other universes before ours in existence, before this happened. We don't know what happened before this.
Mm.
We don't know how long God's been existing. We don't know how long they've been around. They could have seen this 19 times over. And for all of it, you've been riding with God, and now all of a sudden you want to step on his toes. So they only get one chance because it's different when you're inside and like it. Okay, so who would you be more mad at? Would you be more mad at a stranger hitting on your wife or your best friend hitting on your wife?
Best friend.
Like if I went after your wife
Yeah.
and like really wanted her and pursued
Yeah.
her, would you be more mad or would you be more mad at the stranger?
I'll be more mad at you.
That's basically what happened.
Heard.
Because you are inside, you know me.
Right.
The knife is sharper and it's deeper when it's right next to you. If somebody throws it from a distance, if they're far enough away, it might not even hurt you. You know what I'm saying? It might stab you, it might cut you, but it won't kill you. It won't leave you hurt. It won't leave you injured. Lucifer was inside. And he decides, I want this for myself. God shouldn't get all the glory. I should get some because I'm amazing. And he probably was. That's the cool part about it. He probably was. He probably was that dude. He probably was. He's probably making hymns
Yeah,
and melodies for
yeah, he was
eons
like,
that were
wasn't he like the
banging.
most
Like,
beautiful with music and
yes.
yeah,
He had pipes built into his wings. All the little stories you hear. Angel, he was the one. He was the one. He was the one. He was the dude. He was the top. He was the top dog. God needed something. He probably turned to Lucifer and was like, "Yo, tell them to go do this." And Lou was like, "Yo, God said do it." And they probably jumped to it real quick.
yeah, yeah.
And now you want glory. That's why God probably didn't forgive him.
Mm. Heard. Yeah.
I that's what I think. That's my opinion on it. But that's the best thing that I can think of. Because
No,
if
and I get and I was just coming from
right. Yeah.
the angel side.
The ancient
That's
perspective.
the yeah
I
yeah. So I'm not saying that they're right. I'm just
Oh
saying
no. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're angry because of that.
Oh yeah, no,
Hey, he probably
I'd be
saw that and
tight.
that angered. Yeah, he's tight. He's tight.
I'd be real tight on
Super
that. Like
tight.
like
Because
for real, this is what we gotta do with.
it's right, but and it's also the power. It's the whole power thing. Like
Yeah.
we're
We're
trash
nothing. Yeah, we're
compared to him. Yeah,
nothing.
yeah, we're trash compared to him. And he's like, damn man, like God treat me like that.
Right, yeah. He kicked you from heaven over some beings. He preferred some beings that he made from dirt.
Yeah. That's it sounds so bad.
It's kind of
Yes,
insulting. It's kind
yes,
of
that's
insulting. It's kind of
definitely
insulting.
insulting. But
It's
he
kind of
insulted
insulting.
God. He insulted God.
But yeah, but it's worse when you know God and you know how he
Yeah,
operates. And
yeah,
you know he is nothing but holy and he will stand for nothing but justice, for absolute justice. So you
yes.
know when you betray him and you stab him in the back, he's not going to take the chance of you doing it again. He's not going to allow you to continue to do it. He's going to remove you from heaven. And that's what he did. And now you're his enemy.
Right.
And the sad part is for these angels and these demons that have fallen, the sad part is now they're on a path to destruction. Because at the very end of everything, all of them will be thrown in the lake of fire. And then the lake of fire will cease to exist. And they will be scrubbed out of existence. So Lucifer
Ooh.
will be done forever.
Mm.
He will be destroyed. His most beautiful angel creation will be thrown into a pit, tortured by fire, because that's what it would take to, hurt him, and then destroyed. He will no longer exist. And that's the end of that. That's the end of all of them. And the sad part is there are going to be souls there who don't want anything. They don't want God. They don't want to be a part of his kingdom. They don't want to be counted in the number. So you're going to go where God doesn't exist. And that's to nothing. And he's going to scratch it all down to where it's nothing. It's going to fall apart.
Mm.
And that's going to be done.
Yeah, that sounds so bad.
And only God has the power to destroy a soul.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's the only one that can destroy a spirit. So if you want to be in a place where there's nothing, where there's no God, you have to go outside of what he created. And going outside of what he created is non-existence. Like you are no longer thought of. You are no longer existing. And that's sad.
Yeah, that's sad.
That's a terrible end. It's a horrifying, like lonely end. At that point, you're done. Like there's nothing for you anywhere. Who wants that?
Oh, very,
Like
very, very sad. Yeah,
right?
yes.
Like who wants
It's
that?
people who don't
That's
care.
insane.
That's who want it. As hard as
Man,
as
you
hard
got
as
to
it
get over
sounds.
that.
Yeah, yeah. As hard as it's not.
Yeah, you gonna have to get over that, man. You have to get over that one.
Yeah, man.
You gotta get over that one.
People, people, people.
I don't know what to tell him, man. I
We're
don't.
listen, man. We're trying. That's all we can do, fam. We're trying, man. We can't. I mean, we can't convince people. We can't. We can. We hope to, but
Yeah, we hope to try and convince folk, but
yeah, like it's. Listen, man. It's not about us, man.
you can fight against God all you want to.
You're not gonna
It's
win. And so it's it.
right. You gotta be careful, man, because you mess around and end up in a place where God isn't real to you anymore. I don't know what to do about that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
There's nothing I can help you with at that point.
sounds so bad.
It does. It is terrible.
Mm, yeah,
I don't know, man.
you're thinking. I'm
If
thinking
people
because I'm
want to,
thinking. Yeah, he's got me thinking.
yeah,
He got me
if
thinking.
people want to exist in that kind of nonsense, man, you feel free. But I for one, don't want to take that chance. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm good. It's not worth it. It's just.
It isn't
It's
worth
not. You
it.
gotta do the math. All
It's
you gotta do
not
is do the
worth
math.
it, and I
Do the
don't
math,
want.
man.
Right, I don't want nothing to do with that. I don't. I don't want nothing to
Yeah,
do with that.
yeah. Do the math.
People out here bugging and wilding over nothing. Not me. Sorry.
It's like you just gotta you gotta be like just put everything together. I believe that people know after you die there has to be something else. There has to be.
I respect people more if they put more thought into it. Yeah.
People know that because everybody says that. I've
Yeah,
never heard somebody be like, "Oh yeah, after this, nothing." Even if
atheists would say it.
even if they go, "Oh, I'm gonna come back as a tree." Whatever, fam.
Yeah, that's still believing in something. Yeah,
Whatever, fam.
but then you get cut down, right?
Right.
What if that civilization is making campfires, or they're making books? You know what I'm saying? Like then you get cut down.
You get cut down, right?
That's that's your life.
Yeah.
You want to be a tree and then you get cut down.
Like
All
you
right.
have
Hey,
to. And to be honest with you, I think I don't even think atheists believe that. Oh, it's nothing.
not to their
I
core. Yeah, I
don't
don't
believe
believe
it.
they do either.
I don't believe that atheists 100% believe after this is nothing. It's just that's it. No,
Yeah,
you're
I
using
don't
that
think
as
so
an
either.
excuse because you don't want to believe that
Yeah.
this. You don't want to believe it because you probably read a few things and you're like, oh, now I don't want to be a part of that, so I'm just gonna do this.
Oh yeah, I don't like the way this sounds,
Yeah,
so I'm a
I'm good. I think I'm gonna be over here. I don't want to be in this fight. I
right,
don't want to
right,
be in
right,
this
right,
fight that I have no choice of being in.
right, 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 right. All right.
It's not. Listen, it's not heaven, hell, purgatory. It's not heaven, hell, Bermuda Triangle.
Right.
It's not
Yeah.
heaven and hell, Bahamas. It's that's it. That's all you get, fam.
You only get one.
That's all you get.
Just make sure you pick the right one.
And it's simple. If you don't pick God or Jesus, you pick the other side. There's nothing else.
That's all
You
it is.
have to believe that. Yeah. So it's just I'm sorry. I'm not trying to disrespect God, but that's all we got, man. That's all we have. I wish it was something else, but it's not. And
Yeah, I don't
I and
think
I fi-
people would be able to handle it if you gave them too many
yeah, right,
choices.
exactly. I was about to say that.
They
I
act
was
like they
about
could,
to say
but
that
they act like they could, but
because
I don't think so.
then like you can't really pick God.
Right.
I think if you have a third option or a fourth option, nobody would pick. They would pick those other options.
Yeah. And then they would still be wrong in that. You know what
Exactly,
I'm saying?
exactly, exactly. So
That's
God,
wild.
God just simplifies stuff. That's all He does. You simplify everything. But listen, I'm gonna make this simple. You got two
Yeah, they be
choices.
trying
Yeah,
though.
two. You don't got A, B, C, D. You got A, B.
Hmm.
You don't got an E. All of the above. You don't have that.
Yeah, they couldn't do it.
Yeah, they can do it. They can do it. Listen, that's why he's a genius. He knows what he's doing, man. Get it popping. Listen to your
Yeah, just trust
listen
them.
to your boy. Listen to your boy.
Right. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
That's all you gotta do. Just trust. Just
Fam, and
trust
it's
and believe.
so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. To be with God, it's beauty, man. It's beauty. It's a beautiful thing. I can't even explain it. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. It's hard to explain.
Yeah. It's beautiful. He said, it's beautiful. And it's crazy. Like doesn't, this world got people not wanting that. They don't want something beautiful. Like
No, they don't.
they can sit here and say they do. They don't. It's like people in relationships. I want somebody that I can trust and I want somebody that won't cheat on me. No, you don't. You want problems. That's what you want.
Yeah, a lot of people
You
be
want problems.
talking.
You want
They
problems.
be talking out of one side of their
Yeah,
mouth.
you want problems. You're lying. You're a liar. You're a liar. I want a good person. There's a good person right here. No.
Not that good
Yeah,
person.
not that good person.
I wanted something
Yo, like I keep talking.
else.
Like, I'm sorry. I believe this 100%. Rich men, they're not good for you. I don't care what nobody says.
Right.
They're not. If you find
I know for
if you find a rich person that's faithful and that'll be good to you, that's awesome. But that's like
winning the lottery.
that's like winning the lottery. That's like finding a four-leaf clover. That's like it's listen. That money changes you, man. You knowing you can do whatever you want, you're
Yeah,
gonna do whatever you want.
because in this world,
That's power.
that's what gets you.
Yeah, that's
You
what
know what I'm
gets you.
saying?
That's
That's
what
what
gets you.
gets you whatever you want.
That's why Jesus told that one dude, give it all up. Come with me.
Yeah, because that's what it'll take.
Yeah,
It'll take you backing off of having everything
yeah.
and letting go of all of that to be free. It'll take just that. And a lot of people ain't they nah.
And women take
You can
women,
talk
yo,
about that
women
all you
take
want
it.
to, but
Women take it. Just for them to be rich and have a rich guy to take care of them,
oh yeah, yeah,
they'll
yeah,
take
yeah,
it.
yeah.
You can cheat on me. Go
Easy
ahead.
street. That's that easy street, fam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that easy street. Yeah, easy street. Instead of building it themselves, easy street.
Easy
Anybody
street.
would,
Yeah.
female or male, anybody would. Easy street. It's easy.
Like if I was younger, I probably would have. I'm pretty sure I would not date a just because I know that world would be crazy.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it's different.
That's
It's
why
different.
that's why the Bible says that it's harder for a rich man to get into heaven.
And me personally, like I'm at that age now where I would feel weird
Right.
having somebody, especially a female. I'm a guy, especially a female. Like
Hmm.
I'm old school.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm old school.
yeah,
I'm a the guy provides the woman. That's how I am. So for me to I know I couldn't do it. It would be overwhelming.
yeah. It's hard for me to be like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cause look, I remember that girl.
Me
I
being taken care of.
remember when I lived with you.
Yeah.
Remember that girl I dated?
Hmm.
She was good, fam. Like
Yeah.
she had money, and she would try to buy. Like she would try to constantly buy me stuff. And I'm like, nah, yo, I'm good. Like I didn't feel right. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I got this.
Bruh, trust me. There are gorgeous women out there who are good where they are. All they're looking for is love.
Yeah,
And they find you and you're a breath of fresh air to them because you don't treat them like everybody else does. You see them for what God made them to be.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So they will find you and they'll be like, "Yo, this dude is amazing."
Yeah.
And they will honor you more than these younger women will, you know what I'm saying? Like more than these kids running around with their situationships and all that other stuff that they're trying to do.
Did you just say situationships?
Yeah, I read an article on that.
That is
Situationships
that is
are
amazing.
yeah, situationships are supposed to be the new thing.
That's
Like
like
that's
that's like
supposed to be the
11
new
teen.
thing. Right, 11 teen. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or big year old.
Big.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
So, yeah, so situationships is supposed to be the new thing. That's supposed to be the new thing that everybody's, oh, situationships. And you hear that, I hear that, and I read an article about it, I think either this morning or yesterday morning, and I'm just like, nah, man, like this ain't it. Like y'all are cool with situationships. Like y'all are cool with just dating and not knowing where you're going and not having a goal or a purpose or a point to anything that you're doing.
Right.
Like y'all are straight with that. I can't, man.
Yeah.
I can't be in a situationship and it's just there's no end in sight and we don't know up or down and no. Like I said, there are amazing women out there who want love. Very beautiful women who want love, who want affection, who want attention. And you as a Christian will be a breath of fresh air to them completely. It'll change the way they even see relationships. That's really what you want out of a relationship. You don't want a situationship.
Yeah, I've
That
that's new
sounds
to
that
me.
sounds stupid.
You can tell I'm closed. I'm
Situationships.
closed up.
Nah, it's just
I go
that
to I go
even
to work.
even
Home.
having it's just that even having the audacity to even make up a word for it, to make it a legitimate thing,
Mm.
just sounds stupid to me. It sounds dumb.
I noticed they make up
Like,
words for everything that's negative when you really think about it.
yeah,
It's like
for
things
things
that are
that'll lead you to
bad.
bad things.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It'll be that. They always do that.
Yeah. Let's stop.
Controversial things, they'll make up a word for it
Mm.
and it'll be a word. And you'd be like, oh, like we needed that word. We don't need that mess. Like we needed that kind of. Ugh.
This
It's
is
just it's
hilarious.
one. If it ain't one thing, it's another.
Yeah, I mean this.
I remember people saying that. I miss that saying. If it ain't one thing, it's another. Which is totally true.
Welcome to Earth.
Right. Population humans. There ain't no number. It's just population humans.
Population ridiculousness.
Right. 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 Oh man.
Yeah. Listen, man, we love y'all though, man. We love y'all.
Yeah, we gonna wrap this up because that's all of us. I'm not
Yeah,
putting
yeah.
myself
Nope,
outside
not
that
even. I'm
box.
listen. I,
I'm
I'm
much for the
I'm
ridiculousness.
I'm
So
in there.
I'm for the ridiculousness. I'm a part of that mess
Not
too.
like
So
swimwear, but I'm in there.
right, right. That's something I'm reluctantly being a part of. I don't really want to be a part of it, but I am definitely in that.
Mhm.
And with that said, we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna go ahead and rock this one out.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna take my mom to see Creed.
Nice.
Um, yeah, man. Just y'all be good, man. Do
Please
do
try to
do your
try
best
try
to
to be
be
good.
good.
Yeah, try to be good, man.
Yeah,
Try to be
just
good,
just do your best to be good, man.
and try to think about
Ain't-
each other's. You know,
yeah,
put
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 each
put,
put
put
each other
yeah, put
first.
yourself in a situation. If you think it's bad for you, it's probably bad for that person. Don't do
Right,
it. That's what I try to do. I put myself in situations. I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't like that, so I'm not gonna do
right. And if you wouldn't like it, then don't do it to somebody else.
it. I believe that's the whole treat your love others as as you want to be
Yeah,
treated.
that's what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. So I try to. That's why I put myself in situations.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
I'm like, I wouldn't like for that person to do that to me, so I'm not gonna do
Yeah, because the better we are about doing the things that we do for others and with others, then the better people will be to us.
that. Right, right.
You know,
Yep.
and then everybody can grow. Everybody can come up, and it not just be one sided.
Right.
Everybody can grow.
We're all together on this, man. We're all together
Word.
on this. If it doesn't matter if like you're independent. Like we're all like that's why there's all of us here. That's why we're all here. Because if
Yeah,
that was a
I think we're
situation,
here.
it would just be you. You'll be here by
Right.
yourself in this world. That's not how it is.
I think we're meant to learn from each other.
Yes, most
It's
definitely.
meant to grow together and meant to.
People change people. That is my motto.
Right. Yeah.
So remember, you could change somebody's life, man. Just try to change it for better. So it's
Yeah.
just better if you do
Just be
good.
good,
Yeah, be
man.
good.
Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up today, y'all. Remember, drop some likes, some comments. Let us know how we doing. Send us love. We'll definitely send it back.
Most
And
definitely.
as always, Isaiah 30:21, guys, this is the way. Walk in it.
Walk
All
in
right.
it.
Be good.
Be good.
We will see you next time. Uh, I don't know when that'll be. I think we just did. I think this is Monday, so Wednesday next month. I think it'll be the end of the month when we start doing more episodes.
Yep, yep.
Anyway, we'll check y'all later. Be good. All right.
Peace, peace.
Take
Love
care.
y'all.